This government meeting is brought to you by Eastworks and our local cable subscribers.
Call the meeting to order. So, first things first, is there anyone that has, this is public comment section of the meeting, so if anybody has anything. Okay.
I don't know, George, if this is the time where we could update the agenda like we had talked about with having time to vote in a chairperson.
Yes.
Okay. So would I state that as like a motion to add that to the agenda first?
Yes, I would recommend that procedurally.
Okay. I'd like to make a motion to add to the agenda for tonight's meeting a moment to vote for a chairperson for the Conservation Commission here in Southampton.
I'll second that.
Okay. So Kathleen made a motion to vote for a chairperson. Nicole seconded it. So those in favor, Kathleen?
Aye.
Nicole?
Aye.
Dan?
Aye.
And me, Evan, aye.
George, would you suggest that I now make a motion to recommend a chairperson?
I'd make the motion to recommend the chairperson by name.
Okay. I make a motion to recommend the chairperson, Evan Huff, for the Conservation Commission.
I'll second that.
Okay. All right. Weird to call, say my name in the third person like this. Kathleen made a motion to elect me, Evan Huff, as chairperson. Nicole Marcotte seconded it. All those in favor, Kathleen?
Aye.
Nicole?
Aye.
Dan?
Aye.
And I think, George, am I allowed to vote on this or?
Yes.
Okay. And me, Evan Huff, aye.
Yay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Evan.
Okay, so any other public comments or notes from anyone? Great. All right, so there are two public hearings tonight. One is the RDA for the agricultural exemption at 31 White Loaf, and the second is the continued hearing for 318 College Highway. Let's see. I don't think John's on. So let's start with the RDA for 31 White Loaf Road.
So good morning or good afternoon or good evening. My name is Mark Reed from Heritage Land Surveying and Engineering. TJ Blaze, the applicant, is also with us tonight on the Zoom meeting. So this is kind of a twofold. There's two. One is a request for agricultural exemption on this piece of property that the Blazes just built their house on at 31 White Loaf. And then also another part of the agenda is for a request for a certificate of compliance for the notice of intent that was filed in conjunction with that construction of the house. The property that includes a good portion of the Blazes new lot and the surrounding property has been in agricultural use for many, many years. It's a family farm, and TJ married a family member and built their house there. I've got a plan that I can put up if I can share my screen that we prepared and filed, and I assume that the other commissions members received it, but might help explain what is going on.
Yeah, please, if you could, that would be great. And if not, let me know.
Okay. So share screen, and it should be viewable now.
Yes.
Great, great. So this is a 6-acre piece of property that is known as Lot 1, which they constructed their house on. It's on the northeasterly side of White Loaf. And as you can see on this plan, there was a large hayfield, and within that hayfield area, they constructed their single-family house on it. So it outlines the single-family house, which is an area of 0.63 acres. It also defines the farmed area, which is hay, which is 3.14 acres. And then the rest of the property is woodland that they harvest and maintain as 3.41 acres. I'm sorry, 1.99 acres. So that they would like to continue that. As a matter of fact, they would hay it next week because everything is growing because of all the rain that we've had, quite literally as inches by just looking at it. So we're requesting that the commission grant this exemption, and it kind of circles back to the notice of intent requirement, which includes the 25-foot buffer associated with some wetlands that are located on the property in itself. And the initial notice of intent required bird houses be placed along the 25-foot buffer. And they feel that that's going to be a hindrance to try to maintain and mow the field going around the bird houses. So, and I could show you that the original plan that was submitted with the notice of intent if you'd like to refresh, because I know Evan has not seen it, but I know Nicole and Kathleen and Dan have. So
yeah, if you have that.
Yes, I do. So let me stop sharing this one, and then I'll share the next one, which should be, let's see, that's the one. Where did it go on my computer? 1 second. Minimize that. Share this one. So that should come up. So this is the plan that was submitted as part of the notice of intent application. As you can see, it has all the topography and the proposed house and driveway leading up to it. It has the open field area, a field. There is a section of wetlands, bordering vegetated wetlands associated with this section over here. If everyone can see it, I can zoom in if you need to. And then the 25-foot conservation zone runs along this section here of the property. The house was constructed in accordance with this plan. We did an as-built that we submitted, and with the plan itself, so that this area would be farmed and hayed, as well as along the side of the house and behind the house. As well as other property around it that the family owns as part of the larger farm
Mhm.
associated with it. So that's in a nutshell what the request is asking, is that, they would like to continue to use it and it qualifies as an exemption under the 310 CMR 10.404 agricultural. Southampton being a right to farm community, they'd like to continue that tradition.
Yeah. And so looking at between them, kind of jumping between this map that you're presenting here and the one that was submitted with the just the other a few days ago.
Yep.
Where there was mention of a vernal pool, and where is that?
It is not located on this property.
Okay.
There is no vernal pool on the property. I believe potential vernal pool would be on the family-owned farm that is quite some distance away from here, but this piece of property does not have any vernal pools located on it. The only wetlands that are associated with this property are what were delineated and shown on this plan. And off property to the west, there's another bordering vegetated wetland here, and there's a small section of 100-foot buffer zone that just clips into the grading that was done for the sewage disposal system.
Okay.
So the only regulated resource area on the property is BVW, which is over on this side of the property.
Okay.
I mean, this is a good sized farm, so there's quite a few acres involved.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool. Thanks for walking me through that, because yeah, I had not seen this map yet.
Yep.
And in reviewing the two things that are on the table tonight for this piece of property, the birdhouses was not a detail that I had seen. Where are those, or have they been put in, or is this something that was?
No, the birdhouses have not been installed.
Okay.
It was in a condition within the order of conditions that we placed birdhouses along, and I believe there were 5 or 6 of them
Along that 25-foot.
along this 25-foot at the angle points. So
Okay.
I think there were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 6 birdhouses along the 25-foot conservation zone to demarcate that line.
Okay, I see.
We've used a lot of different methods to denote the conservation zone. We've used plantings of trees, stones, different ways so that's the visual.
Got it. Okay.
So it's part of the order conditions.
Yep, got it. All right. Does anybody else on the commission have any questions? Okay.
So it sounds like there's two things going on. Both like a request for a certificate of compliance as well as an amendment, so that is it an amendment to I think that part I'm gonna last that amendment to the
Yeah, it would be
Yeah,
an amendment to the order.
the order of conditions.
Kathleen.
Okay.
Right, because the order conditions said that birdhouses shall be installed. And so there would be an amendment to the order of conditions. That's why I mentioned that. So that would have to be an act that the commission would have to agree to amend it, not requiring the birdhouses be installed.
Right. Because it's going to be, the birdhouses would be in the way of the haying. Is that right?
Correct.
Got it.
Correct. As you can
Very
see it, it's
practical.
gonna, it's gonna be right out in the middle of the, when you're cutting hay, it's a large tractor and pieces of equipment, and
Mm-hmm.
they're just concerned that they might last for one cutting, but next cutting, somebody's gonna hit them.
Yeah.
The
No, for
average.
practical purposes. Yeah.
Yeah, right. Somebody's gonna get them,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
George, I was curious to hear your feedback, 'cause I know you had outlined some pieces in your agent's report.
Well, if I may, as Mark indicated, the request for release of conditions and the request for an RDA are very intertwined. And I think we have a technical issue that the commission is going to have to address. And as outlined in my report, if you will, I refer you to the COC request, the last bullet on page 1. The local bylaw states that the commission shall have a conservation zone. And the word shall, as we all know, is a mandatory requirement. Ergo, it appears to me that the commission has the option of granting it as requested, but this technically, in my opinion, opens a door we may not want to open, and that is, do we have to waive conservation zones on all future NOIs? And the other option would be to continue the hearing and the COC to request a legal opinion on how, quote, we can get around the word, if you will, shall. Obviously, if the word shall was may, there would be no problem.
Mm-hmm.
I know this would put a burden on the applicant, which I don't relish creating, but I do think the commission has to be aware that if they waive stipulation 58 in the COC request and grant the RDA for an agricultural exemption, I would submit to the question, what do you do with the next one?
So can I just comment on that, George, or Evan, through the chair?
Yeah, please.
So we are just requesting that the birdhouses not be installed. The conservation zone is not going away. It's still shown on the plan. It still exists. It just, we're requesting that we don't install the birdhouses. The plans still show the conservation easement. The as-built plan that we submitted shows the conservation easement. So it's not going away. It's still there. It just, the birdhouses won't be put or installed. I know it's confusing because I agree with George that if it didn't say shall, it says may, but
If I may jump in here, Evan, Mark, your as-built plans, as you see in my comments on the OOC, I was somewhat disappointed that they didn't show a lot of measurements, and therefore I would have to submit that I misread them. So the only request you're making of the commission is that the birdhouses not be installed, but the conservation zone remain?
yes, because it's there. They're just gonna hay the fields.
Okay. Then I would submit to the commission, I would still request a legal opinion on whether haying the fields fits under the way the conservation zone is worded and that no work can take place. I would submit that you have enough wiggle room, however, in the instant case, if the zone is being maintained and just the birdhouses being eliminated, that while we get that legal opinion to give the commission firmer grounding, the commission would be within their purview to eliminate the birdhouse restriction, but still maintain the conservation zone. I would also suggest that when you get to the the COC request, that it be very clear in the minutes that waiving the birdhouse requirement as an amendment to the orders, because the commission has the right to do that. I just make sure it's very clear to anybody who comes in subsequently of the process the commission used.
Okay. So and George, and if I missed this up, I apologize. So knowing that there is a timeline to hay this field, right? Is there a temporary solution in place that would allow the haying during this season or this year while that legal opinion was being met or was being
I think,
researched?
if I may, Evan, the requirement in the regulations, the local bylaw says that the zone must be demarcated. I would suggest that if at the property boundaries, if the applicant was to install on their side of the property line a demarcation of the conservation zone, you'd still have the demarcation in place, but you can't really, as Mark said, have the birdhouses there while you've got farming equipment going up and down haying the property.
Well, yeah, and
Right.
it makes it difficult to demarcate it in any way if you put wooden stakes or anything along that line,
Right.
because the tractor's going to hit it. And
Yep. So maybe at the very edge of the property where the conservation zone line would be, could we put a wooden stake there?
We could where the conservation zone crosses the property line. Yes.
Yeah, okay. What I'm trying to do, Mark, is I'm trying to make sure the commission is still complying with the technicalities of the regs as written, while we get some clarification on how to handle this in the future.
Okay.
So the commission under the COC request could simply, in the minutes, waive the requirement for the birdhouses and substitute the requirement for stakes at the property line to indicate the conservation zone.
Right, because there will only be one stake.
That's correct.
Right. Yep.
Okay, so that's the
I can show you. Let me which is an easier one to see. This one's pretty busy, so let me stop sharing this one. So what we're talking about, if I can share the other one. Stop sharing. Call up the as-built plan that we produced for you. Okay, so this is the as-built plan. So what we're talking about is putting a wooden stake or a lath that's up 4 feet or so, 3 feet, right at this point where the hand is.
Yes.
Yep. That's very doable. And that's where the conservation zone crosses the boundary line.
Right.
We could do that if the commission would like that.
okay. That seems like a good compromise. And while we get that legal opinion, that's the order of conditions, is the RDA to have a permanent exemption to be able to hay this property? Is that still something that we need to discuss here, or was that part of the?
Yes, I mean, I think that's what their goal is to be able to hay it in the future.
Yeah.
As it has for many, many years.
Okay. And George, because of the language, the shall versus may,
Mhm.
the concern here, which I agree with, unfortunately, in this one situation, is that if we do grant an exemption while that language exists, we've set a precedent.
Well, yes and no. You're setting the precedent in that you're eliminating the requirement for the demarcations all along that line. But you're still requiring a demarcation of the conservation zone, albeit a very small one. My suggestion would be that when the commission is ready to move forward, that they do the following. One, they make two separate motions. One, to close the hearing on the RDA. And second, move to grant the agricultural exemption on the RDA and move to grant the certificate of compliance for the order of conditions with the change that the birdhouses not be placed as originally required, but rather the property line be staked at the demarcation of the conservation zone. I think by doing that in one motion, you're eliminating the future quote questions unquote that may come up. And in the meantime, I'm going to request either a bylaw amendment and change shall to may, which would probably be the least resistance. And that way we're dotting the i's and crossing the t's, although some of them will be done later on.
Okay. That was a lot. Did everybody get that down?
We might need George to coach us through the different motions here because I agree that was,
I wrote the first one down, and then he cut and adding more
yes,
details.
that's okay.
Does anybody have any other questions or comments from the commission?
I don't have any.
Okay. Then I think we can close the public hearing. So
I'll make a motion to close the public hearing for 31 White Cloak RDA.
I'll second that.
okay, Kathleen made a motion to close public hearing. Nicole, you seconded it. All those in favor, Kathleen?
Aye.
Nicole?
Aye.
Dan?
I got on mute. Yes, aye.
Okay, and me, Evan, aye. Okay, so the public hearing's closed. So now we are going to make a motion, or I think we're gonna make a motion. So the first half of it is we are going to grant an exemption on the RDA. The second half, if I understood, George, is that we are gonna change the order of conditions to waive the birdhouses at the buffer and place a pin or something to demarcate the conservation zone on the line of the zone itself.
That is correct.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to close the RDA. Sorry, not to close the RDA. I'm sorry. I make a motion for the amendment in the RDA. Or no, the exemption in the RDA. So that, so I'm just looking for the language. Uh, I have the notes here. So that the land can be used for agricultural use and haying um, can be done. Is that correct? Is that the exemption?
That'll work.
Yes.
Okay. Just want to make sure that was where we're going.
And then I think we're going to do this all in one.
All one motion, yeah. You're taking two items.
Oh, as well as an amendment to the COC to remove the mandated birdhouses. Instead, putting a wooden marker on the property line along the conservation zone.
Yes. Any second?
Anything else?
I think that's it. I'll second that.
Okay.
Okay. Kathleen, so you made a motion to grant an exemption to the RDA allowing for haying to take place on this at 31 White Loaf, as well as change the COC to waive the requirement of birdhouses along the 25-foot buffer, and instead to place a pin, wooden or otherwise, at the on the edge of the conservation zone.
Mm-hmm.
And then I seconded that. Okay. All those in favor? Kathleen,
Aye.
Nicole,
Aye.
Dan,
I
and me, Evan Huff, aye. Okay.
Okay, well, thank you all, and we'll get that done.
Great. Mark, thanks.
Yes, take care.
TJ, thanks.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Okay, so the next piece of business that we had with a public hearing was where's my agenda? The continuation of the hearing for 318 College Highway. And John, I see you are on the call. Thanks for joining. So give me a moment here while I just pull up this topic. Okay. So I did get a chance to go out and look at the property. So this started in 2024, predates my work here, but from what I understood, there was something was noticed that was an assumption that the ravine where the intermittent or seasonal stream would have been or was looking to be filled in. So that an NOI or not an NOI, shoot, lost the word.
RDA?
Yeah, no, when anyway, George talked to John, and from that conversation, John stopped the work that he was doing there. Coming to today or last meeting, George, you had recommended that a positive number 3 and number 5 is issued with any proposed work to that area. And then if and you had also said that if we had decided to issue a negative determination, that you would still recommend a +5 for any work within that conservation zone.
Yes.
Okay.
The +5, if I may interject, is based on the fact that the land is subject to review under local bylaw.
Okay. So I have a question, George. Or actually, John, first question. You stopped work there, right?
Right. My memory is I was away on vacation. We received a letter that, telling us to cease and desist until then. Short time after that, George came out and visited.
Mhm.
We had a discussion and yada, yada, everything went forward. So the only thing that has been done is just since that letter is cutting the grass and picking up the leaves and that stuff. But I left everything as is right to what you saw when you were out here last week.
Okay. And is there, I guess where I'm going with this is I'm wondering if do you have any work planned there to move earth or do anything that is beyond mowing or cleaning leaves? And if the answer to that is no, then George, what's the next step?
Well, I think my preference would be to have the applicant outline for the record in the public hearing exactly what he is planning to do in terms of, or just submit what the paper you submitted, John, with the application that outlines your work and request to be made part of the minutes. And therefore, everybody knows exactly what you plan to do. If it's normal maintenance that does not involve any filling or removal within the stream channel, that's very different than normal maintenance, quote unquote, that would in fact remove and fill in the stream channel. If there's no fill and removal in the stream channel, I would recommend a -3 and a +5 with the stipulations as outlined in my agent's report. That would allow the applicant to proceed with the spring cleanup, so to speak.
Okay. Thank you. So, John, what is I guess that, yeah, maybe that's
Sure.
that's the perfect place to start this. So what's the plan?
So it's I can read I'm assuming just the portion of the 2-page letter that I submitted as part of the WPA Form 1. And it's what we're looking to do is to ensure the continued upkeep of the property while maintaining ecological balance. I'm seeking approval for the following routine maintenance activities: selective vegetation clearing, debris removal, minor grading, and the culvert upkeeps that are down at the bottom to make sure they don't get blocked. Mosquito control efforts, including eliminating and minimizing standing water where feasible, and to help reduce breeding grounds while remaining sensitive to the surrounding wetland habitat. And continued use of best practices to minimize environmental impact, including manual tools instead of heavy machinery, maintaining a buffer zone, and properly removing fallen trees that obstruct the water flow.
Okay, thank you for reading that. Okay, so and I'm just looking at that letter here as well.
Yep.
All right. Does anybody else? I've kind of been taking up a lot of the air here. Does anybody else have any questions or comments?
I don't. Thanks, John, for reading that portion of your letter. That's provides a lot of clarity.
Okay, so yeah, I guess selective vegetation clearing, debris removal, minor grading, culvert upkeep. But the minor grading and culvert upkeep, as you outline in the
Yeah, so there's two culverts, one on each side. They're down on the roadside, right? So that's where, if I'm looking towards College Highway, the one on the left,
yeah,
there really shouldn't be anything there because there's nothing around there. It's just that's where it funnels. But the one on the right, closest to the driveway, still has all those trees in there. For example, there's a tree in there that all the bark's gone. It's just a matter of time before it falls. I mean, ideally, I'd prefer to just take it down, but I'm happy to wait until it falls. But when it does, I want to get it out of there so it doesn't block that culvert. But I wouldn't be doing any repairs or changing to the culverts. I'd be calling the state if there was a problem with those.
right. Okay. Okay, and George, I'm trying to just like the negative, if the negative number 3, positive number 5, if the work there, any work to clean that culvert, keep the water flowing, is done with a what's the wording? Manual tools instead of heavy machinery. That to me sounds reasonable.
What's the length and width of the material of the culvert you're going to work on?
Well, again, it would only be when that dead tree falls. It's going to block that culvert. So I'd want to use a chainsaw and remove the tree. I'm not physically going to touch the culvert, but the culverts they got to be at least 4 feet wide, circular.
Right. I think the commission would be within their would be okay to allow what the applicants requested. I'd also remind you, John, in case you didn't know, I have the authority to issue a tree removal permit. I recommend strongly that when you're ready to cut that down, there's one you can get online. There's no cost. Fill it out, send it to me.
Okay.
Okay, great. All right, so does anybody else have any questions or thoughts? All right, so then I guess I will, unless somebody else wants to make a motion. I'll make a motion to issue a negative 3, but a positive number 5 with the special conditions of 21, 27 through 30, 33, 34, 37, 41, 43, 47, 50, and 62 as they're outlined in that report.
Evan, please include in your motion and to close the public hearing.
Got so focused on this. Thank you, George. I'll make a motion to close the public hearing.
You can do it all in one motion. You have to close the hearing and then, I need to close the hearing and to issue a.
Got it.
Okay.
All right. Thanks, folks. We'll try this one again. I'm making a motion to close the public hearing as well as issue a negative number 3, positive number 5 with the special conditions of 21, 27 through 30, 33, 34, 37, 41, 43, 47, 50, and 62.
I'll second that.
Okay. So I made the motion for all of that to close the public hearing and issue the positive number 5. Kathleen, you seconded it. All those in favor, Kathleen,
Aye.
Nicole,
Aye.
Dan,
Did it again. I'm sorry. Yes, pass. Yeah, I agree.
aye. Okay, thank you. And me, Evan, aye. Okay. So thanks, John, for jumping on again tonight.
No problem. Thank you,
Have a good night.
too.
Okay. I think let me pull up the. Okay, so that is it for the two public hearings that were on tonight. In the regular business, we already took care of the COC for 31 White Loaf. Next is the removal of land from Chapter 61 for 152 County Road.
Evan, members of the commission, the owner of the property has indicated that they are going to split off a parcel of ground and build a single-family home there. The land is under Chapter 61A, and when you change it from an agricultural condition under the tax law, then the municipality has the right of first refusal. There are no jurisdictional areas on site or within 100 feet of the site. I would recommend the commission recommend to the select board, excuse me, that they not exercise their right of first refusal.
Okay. Sounds good. Sorry, is that something that are we voting on that tonight? We are voting on that
Need a
now.
formal motion to recommend to the select board. The planning board is going through this same exercise, and they'll get a recommendation as well.
Okay. Does anybody want to make that motion? Okay, I will, I'm making a motion to waive our right of refusal, or tell the select board to waive our right of refusal for the 152 County Road property for their Chapter 61 removal for that lot.
I'll second that.
Okay, thank you. All right, so I made the motion to waive that first right of refusal. Nicole seconded that. All those in favor, Nicole,
Aye.
Kathleen,
Aye.
Dan,
I
and me, aye. Okay, thank you. The order of conditions request for 34 Bloomer Road.
Mr. Chairman, members of commission, all work is completed. I recommend the COC be issued.
Okay. And this one. Sorry, I'm just re-familiarizing myself. So this was a cleanup and restoration of the site, and yep. For removing trees in a new septic. Okay. All right.
Make
Would
a
anybody-
motion I'll make a motion for the certificate of compliance at 34 Bloomer Road.
I'll second that.
Okay, so Kathleen made a motion to issue the COC. Nicole, you seconded it. All those in favor? Kathleen?
Aye.
Nicole?
Aye.
Dan?
I
And me? Aye. Okay. Okay. And actually there was a couple in front, but I think Kestrel's on, so we can, maybe if folks are okay with it, we can jump to Walcott Road. Okay, so there you go.
Bevan, Bridget from Kessel Land Trust is here, and she wanted to make sure that there were no questions from the commission and etc. Bridget?
Yes, hi. Thanks all for the time. I know I wasn't able to come to the last commission's meeting, but I think you all received the conservation restriction as well as the new draft of the baseline documentation report. And so, as George said, I just want to make sure there weren't any questions or concerns. I have received a few comments back from the state about the CR draft, very minor things so far, but it hasn't gone through the legal review yet, so I can let you know when that does happen. But in the meantime, happy to answer questions.
Okay. The comments that you got back from the state, was there anything that's, I mean, you
They
kind of,
just wanted clarification around the survey that was recorded, since it did show what looked like encroachments on the survey, but all those encroachments had to do with the town itself, and since the town's owning it, it was kind of null and void. So I clarified that with the state. And then they had some questions about the trail language, and we clarified that. So really nothing major so far. And this really, the language is almost exact to what the Garfinkel Menard CR was last year. So we're hoping there's not too many concerns.
okay.
There's no further action on the part of the commission. And I believe that this thing is moving forward and as it should. The land will be owned by the town, the CR held by Kestrel, and the Conservation Commission will have management.
Yeah, so the closing for the actual land did happen. So the town is now owning the land, and it's just a matter of the CR coming in place now.
Right.
So if you have no issues with the baseline, I'll ask, we had a contractor, Charlie Eisman, develop the baseline for us, so he'll finalize that, and then we'll share that for signature. Either Evan can sign it or George can sign it. It's kind of what the town likes in terms of who signs the baseline.
Okay.
We'll take care of that in-house.
Okay, great. And then I believe I also shared that the other two CRs for 69 Maple and Glendale Ridge received local signature approval from the state, which is exciting news. And because it's only a co-hold on the town's part, only the select board needs to sign those. But again, I felt like the commission should have the chance to voice any last concerns, or if they wanted to do a formal vote of approval, just to have that on record. We can have that happen as well. But I'm hoping to go before the select board next week for their approval.
Okay.
Okey-doke. Thank you, Bridget.
Thank you. And also Mark Cassis wasn't able to be on tonight from the Open Space Committee, but he wanted me to pass along that the Open Space Committee has been meeting about trails on the Garfinkel Menard property, and they feel like they've found a route that can happen without interfering with boundaries or wetlands. And so he should have a formal update for the commission in the coming weeks on that once they map it out. But wanted to share that.
Awesome. That's great. Thank you.
All right, great. Thank you all.
Have a good night.
You too.
Awesome. Cool. Okay. All right. Next was the closure of the trail at the Whitmore property.
Mr. Chairman, members of the commission, I forwarded to you the photographs was taken by a resident of the tree that was slightly blocking one of the trails.
Mhm.
And I went out and I did have a conversation with one of the adjoining property owners who says it's really impassable.
Okay.
And I have I have got a sign from the town administrator, which I'm going to put up, that indicates that the trail is closed due to storm damage.
Okay.
Okay, I don't think the commission needs to take any formal vote on this. Um, Although I did recommend it in my agent's report, but since that went out, I'm thinking that lessen the bureaucracy. As long as the commission is aware of the issue that's going forward, we're in good shape.
Okay. So George, the cleanup for something like this in the past, is that I mean, and I haven't been out there, so the severity of, the damage would warrant different things, but is it
That's
something that we
something
would have to hire or?
that's something I'm working on,
Okay.
especially with Kathleen. I've got to find out where we have some, extra cash hanging around. Um, I've checked with Highway. They have absolutely no manpower or time to do it for the next 10 years. And I am going to try and get probably a tree contractor to give us some type of estimate of what it may cost to open up the trail. And then I'll be back to the commission, what I have, and let's see how you want to go forward.
Okay. Okay. Great. Thank you for looking into that.
Okay.
And also, if you aren't able to get out to put that sign up, let me know because I can grab the sign as well.
It'll be up tomorrow morning.
I love it. You're on it. Okay. And then the final piece that was in the regular business section for tonight was for electronic signatures, which George, I apologize. You had emailed us. I did not reply.
Oh, I put that on the agenda because I wanted to ask the commission if anybody knows a good, quick, simple, easy, cheap way to get the commission electronic signatures. Please let me know. We have opinion from council that although the commission has adopted the electronic signatures for getting documents recorded so that everybody doesn't have to come into town hall and sign everything. She has recommended that the commission still sign them electronically. And I have no idea how to do it. So if anybody has any idea of how we should do this, please get in touch with me. We don't have to take up time at a meeting, but I am just reaching out for help in this case because I'm lost.
Yep. Okay.
All right.
Sounds good. All right. Then that ends the regular business portion of tonight's meeting. The next is the treasurer's report.
Hello. So not much has changed. Like last month, I felt like that there was a lot of expenses, but also a lot of revenue. I updated this earlier today, so I'm sorry I did not send a PDF of my updated treasury report, but I'm happy to do that after this. So the only expenses were a Gazette fee, or well, it was like a couple of Gazette fees, but it was the same date, which was $349.47. So the conservation revolving fund went down about $300, and it's now 5,294. Some change, and then I guess there was a little bit of revenue for it would have been I believe a NOI fee for $165.20. I'm realizing now I didn't write the I have to add that, like a note of what the exact item is for those amounts. And so I can send that to you guys like right now.
Okay. Thank you.
I don't know if there's any questions. But yeah, George, you had a question about the forestry account. And that is still the same since Flurry has not yet. We have not used that account yet for the Flurry expense. So I can get that estimate to you for some of the other questions you had.
Yeah, and I think, Kathleen, that the forestry account is where we would best take funds out if we need to clear that tree in Whitmore.
Okay. You had another question though, George, right? About another property in Southampton, is that right? Or is that the Whittemore one? I thought you had a question about another property.
No, I had questions about let me talk to you tomorrow. There's no sense taking up all the commissioner's time.
Okay.
All right.
Never mind. For next meeting.
Okay. I actually had a question on the forestry account. So that is that's the funds that are in there from
Forest setting.
we get a percent of private forest cutting, or is it forest cutting that the town managed land or town owned land?
The second.
Do you know, Dan?
Yep. So that's from forest management projects we've done on town-owned land.
Okay. Did I hear correctly, Dan, that for private land that is logged or forest management happens, we get a portion of the...
Someone was talking about that. I think they were calling it like a stumpage fee. And I don't know where that money would go or whatever happened with any of that, but I don't think it would go to us, but
Okay.
something to look into.
Yeah, and the only reason I bring that up is I know that the town I grew up in Russell, and they had something similar. And when I heard that, it sounded like we weren't, if that is the case, it sounded like we were not collecting on that. So George, I guess maybe I can talk to you separately. But I'm curious just to track that down and see if that is actually a bylaw.
No problem.
I guess just one more. Sorry, Evan, I wasn't sure if you had anything else to say about
No.
Oh, okay. Yeah, thanks for thinking about that. I think it was you, Dan, last meeting. You asked me about the deficit. I think that was you for what was that account?
Yeah, the -105.
The -105, yeah. And Bradley got back to me. He said that tomorrow they'll be updating the balances for all the accounts, and he'll be able to give me more accurate totals, and we could move the expense to another account. Still, I don't know. Yeah, I'm working on it with Bradley, what to do with that deficit. So I flagged it, and he's the town accountant, so he can help me figure out what to do with that.
Cool. Thank you for working on that and tracking that down.
Yep. You're welcome.
Okay. Next was just an informational item that the bylaw amendments were passed or passed at the town meeting. Dan, thanks for jumping up and talking through the several pages
Yeah,
of
yeah, no problem.
amendments.
I didn't know if you guys were there or not, so I just figured I'd just go and take care of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yep.
want to thank you also, Dan, because I was on my way up when you jumped up and started talking.
Well, there we go. I got it, guys. It's covered.
Yep. Great. Yeah. Thank you. And then the review, and sorry if you all hear my dog whining. Reviewing and accepting the meeting minutes. I made a couple edits to the minutes from last meeting. I don't know if everybody had a chance to review those. Okay. I thought those looked good. So I'd at least like to accept those. I know there's still two other meetings that we have to accept them, that the minutes have to be accepted for. And I did not review them in advance of today, so I can do that before the next meeting. So George, or anybody here, I don't think we've actually accepted any minutes in any meeting that I've been part of during my short tenure here. Is it a formal motion?
Yes.
Okay. I will make a motion to accept the meetings from the minutes from the May. Oh shoot, help me out here. 5th meeting.
I'll second that.
Okay, great. All those in favor? Kathleen,
Aye.
Nicole,
Aye.
Dan,
I
and me, aye. Great. And then the other two, I'll review them again and pass and make sure that everybody gets a chance to look at those. Any other business that cannot wait until June 2nd?
yeah, I got something. This might be my last meeting. Maybe. I don't know. So we're moving out of town. So thank you
Oh,
all for everything. And see you later. So yeah.
all right. Well, thanks and congrats, I think, on moving.
Yeah, it's good. My daughter's going to school up in Greenfield now, so we're gonna move up there, so it'll be a lot easier.
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah.
Congratulations.
Oh, thanks.
Best of luck and thanks for all you've done, Dan.
Oh, thank you all.
When is this happening, Dan?
I don't know. We're finishing buying the one house, and then we gotta sell this house. So this takes time. I
Well,
don't know, a
next week,
month.
right?
Yeah, right. I have no idea. A month, 2 months.
Okay. Wow.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Yeah. Best of luck. All right. We'll have to we're gonna have to get another member here.
Yeah, I think the quorum thing may be a problem. So if I still own a house in Southampton the next meeting, I will participate.
Okay.
Don't forget, if the AG approves the minutes, it's only going to be you'll go down to a quorum will be 3.
Right.
I ran into Christine Fowles and she said, I think I found another person for Conservation Commission. I said, oh, I hope you can send them over to us.
Nice.
That's good.
Yes. Send them over. I'd like to talk to him or her.
I don't know. Yeah. Him or her.
I also had I won't be here on the June 2nd meeting. I will be I won't be available. So, but if Dan is also not here and we need a quorum, I will see if I can be here. So let's just keep in touch on that, I guess. And George, how much time is needed.
For what?
If Dan is unable to join and I am unable to join and we no longer.
What about Hazel? What about Hazel? Is she?
Yeah.
If we don't have 4, I'll just cancel the meeting.
And how much 48 hours is that the?
Yes,
Okay.
48 hours. And as it stands right now, there are no applications pending.
Oh, okay.
Okay, there's I don't think we're going to have any problems as it stands right now. So if we don't have a quorum, we don't have a quorum.
Right. Okay. And then I guess that's a good point, Kathleen. Has anybody talked with Hazel? Okay.
Yeah, I've been curious because I saw that she was being pretty responsive via email, so I wasn't sure if she was going to start coming to the meetings again. But yeah, I'm not positive.
Yeah.
And part of my role is sorry to skip back to that subject is the liaison to the select board. So you guys should get a new liaison from the select board. Um, I, so
Right.
I think you guys should bring that up to them. Like, can we
Yeah.
get a new one? So hopefully you'll get a member out of that.
So when is your last day as on the select board officially?
I mean, I don't know. It's whenever I sell my house.
Oh, okay. Okay. Got it.
But Steven has a lot of experience in conservation commission things, so I think he'd be a good candidate if he wants to be on it and all that. So
Yep. Yeah, sounds like he was on the commission and I think he said in Lexington, Mass. So yeah. Okay. Any other any other bombshells or new business that folks wanna drop? Okay. All right, then that I think concludes the meeting. Would anybody like to make a motion to close the meeting out?
I'll make a motion to close the meeting.
Okay, and I will second that. All right, Nicole made a motion to close. I seconded it. All those in favor, Nicole?
Aye.
Kathleen?
Aye.
Dan?
I
And me? Aye.
This government meeting is brought to you by Eastworks and our local cable subscribers.